Today we're making chocolate orangey cookies, and these are a firm favourite with the family. You need 3 ounces of, I'm using 52% cocoa chocolate, local Welsh butter. I'm using salted, that's fine. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. You need a cutter. Now I've gone about an 8cm cutter. It's very well worn, as you can see. Rolling pin, because you'll need to roll out. Caster sugar and flour, and as I'm weighing out I'll give you the measurements, and I've gone for some orange essence with these, so it gives them a really good orangey flavour. You'll need a set of scales, and you'll also need 2 large flat baking sheets. Put a little bit of stalk or margarine on, put your baking paper on, and then a little bit more margarine to make sure they don't stick. So you need 2 of those, and the oven preheated to 180. These don't take long to make, so I put the oven on now. So I've weighed out 6 ounces of caster sugar, and I'm putting in 6 ounces of soft butter, and this is salted butter, so I don't want to be adding any more salt to this. So we're going to cream this in. It's probably still a little bit hard. So if you're thinking about doing these, get your butter out a bit earlier. If you're going to soften it in the microwave, really keep an eye on it, because it goes from sort of hard to runny in seconds. So just do it in 10-second increments. So I'm going to cream this in, and then I'm going to come back to you. Okay, so I've creamed my sugar, caster sugar and butter together, so that's how you want it. Now this is a really lovely job. I'm chopping very roughly the 50% dark chocolate. Now the nice thing is, if you do get a few bigger chunks, you just get a lovely bigger chunk, or somebody does, in their biscuit. Sorry about that noise.
What, nails down a blackboard?
Yeah. Oh. Right, so that should do us. Just go into there. Right, that's our chocolate. Now I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of baking powder into my flour. And that's plain flour. Okay, so that's ready. And then in here, now this is Steenberg's organic orange extract. It's quite strong, but I'm still going to put in 1 teaspoon, and I'll taste it and see what we think. I hate wishy-washy tastes, so it smells beautiful as well. Okay, so should have sifted this flour, but my sieve got melted. So we're not sifting that today, and I probably would have benefited from a deeper bowl, but my bowls are going through it at the moment as well, and I can't get out to get any, so we're sort of on very limited bowls. It's like a Greek wedding in here. Everything gets chipped, broken. There we are. So we're mixing that in. See, it's quite a dry mixture. So what I forgot to tell you is we need to add 2 tablespoons of water. Now you may need to add a little bit more than that, and we're putting in our chocolate as well, because it depends on how hungrily your flour soaks up your water. Like I say, some flours are, they need more water than others. So you're going for sort of like a doughy mixture almost. You can see all our gorgeous chocolate pieces in there. So we want it to come together so we're actually able to roll it out. And as you can see, we are not at that stage yet. Good way of doing it is like that. And if it's not coming holding, you need to add a little bit more water. So just do that. So we're probably on 4 tablespoons of water now. when you haven't made things for a while, you forget little bits. You start off thinking, oh yeah, I know this off by heart, and then
you don't.
then you forget things like you needed to add moisture to the mix. Like I say, we don't practice this, we just go through the recipe book and think, oh, they were nice, we'll try that. Okay, that's better. So that was 4 tablespoons of water. You probably could have got away with 3. Now I'm just going to taste a bit of this. Yeah, it's orangey enough for me. So now we want to get this out and we're going to roll it. So we're going to need some extra flour for dusting and dusting the rolling pin. So flour your surface and get your rolling pin. Give that a flour because this mixture is sticky. So keep that nearby and gather this together. Now one thing you can do, we haven't got any fresh orange juice in the house, but if you do, that's quite nice instead of water because it gives it a bit of extra oomph. Another thing that you can do in these, which I'd forgotten, you can grate sort of orange into it, orange peel. That's quite nice too. There we are. So we want to get this. Now we're going to get messy-ish. Probably, I'm feeling this now, you get the just, I would say I probably did 1 tablespoon too much water in there. So I think it's going to work. As I gather a bit more flour, it will absorb it, yeah. So I'll tell you what, if you try this raw, oh my God, it's addictive. So we want to roll this out. Don't be too heavy-handed with it. We want them to be quite thick. So I'm just going to see, doing this by eye a little bit.
I wonder if you added cocoa to it, would it be like a fully sort of chocolate biscuit then almost?
It would, but the thing with cocoa is, I mean, yeah, I probably would do that. It does dry so it changes everything because it sucks up moisture. So I do make an OT cocoa biscuit without cooking chocolate, but it doesn't sort of almost like draw the moisture out of your mouth a little bit. So I've got my very old handed down the generations cutter, and I'm going to put a bit of flour on there. Not sure if it's going to help. I would say it's about ½ an inch. Let's give, yeah. Going off metric all the time, as you know.
You're what, ½ an inch? I'm going by metric.
Yeah, well, I'm being ironic.
All right, imperial.
Yeah. So, and you need to give it a bit of pressure because you're cutting through the chocolate bits as well. So I'm going to pop that. Now, pop that onto our greased tray. Okay. Now we need to give these a respectful distance because they will, and these are whopping, these are more like scones. But I tell you what, if you're going to be naughty, there's no point in having little teeny weeny. If you're going to do it, just have one.
Yeah, go big or go home.
Yeah, so we keep that about there. Then obviously these offcuts I have to roll out again. You could make lots of little tiny ones. I haven't got any tiny weeny cutters, so you could do that. Okay. So I'm going to carry on. I might make some smaller ones so we can see what size they end up to. So I'm going to find my smaller cutter and get back to you. So I've rolled the dough out again with a bit more flour, and I found this much smaller cutter. It's a little round one. So this will give us a lot of small ones. So the other ones are big greedy ones.
They're mine.
And then these are little tiny ones. And what I've been doing now, well, what I do sometimes, I just package some up when they're cool and drop them in, especially in lockdown, because you know people fancy something and they haven't always got it in. So this will give us a few more, and as you can see, some are thicker, some are thinner. The only thing you've got to watch with that is the cooking time. So I might have to get some of the thinner ones out first, just to keep watchful. Here, stay alert. Stay alert with your biscuits, guys. We don't want to burn these.
Yeah. Stay alert, make biscuits, control the virus.
That's it. So we're going to get a lot more little dinky doos out here. Obviously they're not going to spread as much, so they need a lot less. See, mentally you'll probably think, oh, they're only small, I can eat 6 of these, whereas the big ones you think, oh, I better only eat 1. Okay. Biscuit logic. Yeah.
I think Steely Dan had an album called Pretzel Logic.
There we go. So this one's a thick one. Lots of lovely chocolate bits. So who could not like these? I have to say, I've not met many people that don't like chocolate and orange combination. And if you taste it and you think, do you know what, it could do with a bit more orange, because everyone's taste is different, add a bit more. But remember, I know this is sort of like, you can always add, but you can't take away. So if you go heavy-handed beforehand, you've ruined them. Okay, so just keep going. So how many have we got on the tray so far, Dave?
Oh crikey, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17.
Okay, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So we're going to have a good sort of 24, 25 out of this. A lot of people think, what is the point of making biscuits when you can buy them so cheaply? One, you know what's in them, and it makes you a bit more aware when you're eating them, because you know what all the naughty stuff that's gone in. Sense of satisfaction, something you can get the kids doing, and the house smells fantastic. So when you get back to house selling, get these in the oven before people come round. There we go. So we've got one little bit left. There we are. So they're all going to go on the tin. I'll space them out a bit more than I have, and then I'll put them in the oven. 180 preheated oven. I think I've told you that already. And you want them to be sort of golden brown. You might have to put a few on the other. So there's lots of little tiny ones. Not sure on this. It doesn't matter if I have to split them, but if you're a little bit OCD with, let's just move that down. I'll put some on here as well. God, these are big, aren't they? They are like scones. That's a teenage size. There we are. So I'll spread them out, put them in the oven, and when I come back, I'll let you know how long they took, because it can vary. And I'll let you know how much the bigger ones have taken and how much the little ones have taken. Now, I honestly forgot how much these spread, and it just shows you we haven't been eating biscuits for a while. So these were in for 18 minutes. This isn't a disaster. We can just separate these. But these were the huge beastie ones, so these were in 18. Now, the other ones were in about 15, and they have gone even more potty. They're going to end up being hexagonal, so you definitely need more space around each biscuit. Let me just get these out a bit. Cool bit. There we are. So you can see what's happened. They've all just gone into each other. So they're going to end up some very strange little shapes. Now, that's fine for us, no problem at all, but if you're giving them as a gift, you want to leave more room around them. Now, if you imagine, I can't, where's the cutter gone?
Oh, it's in the dishwasher.
Oh, no, here it is. So this is the cutter we used. It was 8 centimetres. So you can, I don't know if you can see, let me just move this one over.
Sorry, I'm
So, can you see that?
Yeah.
So you've got a good 2 centimetre spread around that. We have tasted one of the small ones. They are delicious. More chocolatey than orange. So maybe orange zest would have been a good idea, but like I said, I didn't have any orange. but they're still absolutely delicious. Now, can you, hang on, let me move these out of the way. Not that I'm putting ideas in your head here, but if you were going to be super naughty. Now, before I get carried away with super naughty, you need to leave these on a tray for a good 5 minutes because they are very liquid. And then as they cool, they go hard. Okay, so I'm just going to, so you can see they're still quite soft. So leave them on here for a good 5 minutes before you transfer them to a cooling rack. Imagine that, okay, warm. Look at the lovely, now imagine that with a bit of vanilla ice cream on it.
You got a bit David Attenborough there, Joe.
I know. Topped with another one. You'd have to run. Now exercise, you can exercise them, I don't know, 15 mile or something.
If you're up to the village.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be so worth it? So you can see, because that's not cooled down properly, it's just snapped off. So all we're going to do is just separate them very gently. When they've cooled, put them onto the cooling rack and then put them in an airtight tin, and they'll keep their crispiness, or airtight tin or a Tupperware.
Stop fooling yourself. They're not going to last. They're not going to go off.
Why did I make them? Pam, our neighbour, some cookies are coming to you. Bless her. We're fattening her up for ritual sacrifice, I think. So, yeah, really lovely recipe. The kitchen smells stunning. Like I say, it'd be lovely with ice cream and yum yum. Or halve one in, oh well, anyway, whatever you want to do. Just nice with a cup of tea. This is almost like the size of a frisbee. Like I say, teenagers, they like anything like that. Just take it into them and they're like, oh, that's great. Gone in a few seconds. So this was worth doing. Very, very quick. Bit longer bake than other cookies. So that's our orangey chocolate cookies. Thanks for watching.